Hello and welcome to FS Mania and part 2 of this flight in Carenado's version of the Swiss built like a tank Pilatus PC-12. If you are just now joining us, we are currently at the Eagle County Regional Airport taxiing to runway 7 for departure to a short but hazardous flight to Aspen, Colorado. We are experiencing some pretty lousy weather at the moment, so you better buckle up, hold on, and let's fly to Aspen. I see we have an obstacle in front of us up here, and I'm going to use my magical powers to make it a non-solid object that we can pass through because it shouldn't be there, number one, on taxiway. I definitely have a scenery conflict, and I have tried to find the BGL file that's at fault, but I have not been successful with that, so it's not too big of an issue at this airport. A little herky-jerky in the turns. That's okay. Alright. And power back to idle. Do it before takeoff. Checklist. Set the park and brake. We'll go ahead and switch over to the tower. Not that we're going to hear anybody. We might. You never know. We should. There should be some traffic here. But so we're going to go ahead and let's get in here where we can see. Cut our flight director on position, and we will set it up on heading to begin with. Arm our altitude mode and 14,000, and I'm going to set this climb rate in here. I don't know if it's going to give it to me or not. I think it keeps defaulting back to 500 feet a minute, but we're going to set in what we want. We'll see what happens. Yaw damper is off. The ice probes. We've got the probes in the on position. That will protect our pitot tubes, our static ports, and the angle of attack vanes. We'll leave the rest of the de-icing off right now. Temperature is outside air. Temperature is 24 degrees. It's probably still a good chance of some icing. I'm going to clear this message out of here so it's not flashing, and actually cut on terrain on that unit. And external lights, let's go ahead then and cut on our landing lights, strobe light, transponder on altitude, and condition lever in flight idle. That up. Flaps are set for 15, and our environmental control switch should be off for takeoff. And we're ready to go. Eagle County Tower, Pilatus 3486, runway 7, ready to go. Pilatus 3486, Eagle Tower, wind 070 at 10, gusting to 12, runway 7, cleared for takeoff. Cleared to go on runway 7, Pilatus 3486. Okay. Park and brake. Power set. Gauge is in the green. Airspeed's alive. 60 knots. 80 knots. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Lights off, inertial separator off. Give it some nose down trim. Meant to do that before I took off. Let's actually put this in nav mode. Cut on our autopilot. Let it fly us to the first fix. Let's see, right now our vertical speed is at 2,000, and that's what it's set for. That's good. Flaps are up, coming up, and let's power back. Not too much. Keep it climbing. Yaw dampers on. We can go ahead and cut our environmental control system on. Let's look at this terrain. So what I'm hoping we can do, we're 5 miles from Vail. I'm hoping that we can, instead of turning left, turn right, which will take us to Aspen. Left takes us away from Aspen, but it gives us a chance to climb out. So that's why I'm climbing at 2,000 feet a minute. See if we can clear this terrain and make a right turn. So we're above 10,000. We'll go ahead and cut off our landing lights. So in preparation for the turn, I want to go ahead and sync up my heading. And let's go ahead and come into heading mode. Let's go over here. Let's bring our flight plan up. Let's get a cursor. Let's come down here and go direct to Aspen. Direct. Enter. And enter. So now let's make a right turn. I think we can clear this going through 12. So we'll go ahead and make that right turn towards Aspen. So direct track's about 184. I'm going to turn us over at about 210. 1,000 to go. Loud buzz. And let's come back over here. Now that we're going to Aspen, let's put in our procedure. We're going to activate the approach. Yes. And there's our magenta line taking us to the red table VOR where we want to go. Go ahead and put us in the nav mode. Let's make sure we get captured here at 14,000. and we'll go ahead then and put in the localizer frequency. We're on course 13 miles, 14,000 feet. Altitude mode's engaged, nav mode's engaged, yaw damper on, autopilot on. Everything looks good there. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and slow us up a little bit. Our ground speed's climbing over 200 knots, 225 knots. So I'm just going to ease back on the power. And let's come back over here, bring up our page. It's got our frequencies. We'll put in our cursor, and let's scroll down here to the localizer. Now there's two frequencies. We want the first one, which is 111.5. We'll enter that, and let's flip it up here. There it is. And the course, that's not the course to the localizer, for the localizer. That's the course to Red Table, I'm pretty sure. So let's get this out of here. And I'm going to zoom out. Yep. So there's Red Table. We're 8 miles away. And when we get there, we can descend to 13,000. Terrain looks clear. And let's go ahead and just set that course up for the localizer, which is be landing on runway 15, and the course is 148. So we'll go ahead and have that dialed in. Okay, GPS is taking us where we want to go. We're IMC. There's some sun coming up. Everything looks good there. Let's get our head in here. 4 miles away from Red Table. And then we'll begin a descent. So I'm going to start slowing us up. Some pretty steep descents required to come into Aspen. And so we're going to try to keep our airspeed down. So that we don't have to dive bomb it to land there. I think for the descent we'll go ahead and come on with the inert separator, since we are in visible moisture, or will be on the descent. And let's go ahead now and activate that and get down. Just keep an eye here out on our terrain. Coming down at 1,000 feet a minute, about 150 knots indicated. Now the GPS will zoom in. We'll anticipate our turn before our next fix, which is Jargo intersection. You can see the dashed line. That's what we're going to fly. When we get to Jargo, we are cleared to come down to 12.8, and looking at the terrain, I can see we'll be fine. I'm going to go ahead and bring us on down to 12.8. Keep it descending. And once we get to the next intersection, which is Kaiser, then we'll be able to come on down to the next step down altitude, which is 11,700. Also, once we get established here, I'm going to switch us over to the localizer. airspeed is slow. Let's go ahead now and come over to the CDI, to the localizer. There we go. And we can come on down now to the 11.7. Let's get it going down. We'll pick up some speed. So 11.7 is what we're looking for to Doip. We got 3 miles to go. Get us another little bit more nose down, and let's get a notch of flaps in. Doip is our final approach fix. Usually wouldn't get in the landing configuration till we're there, but we're so steep of a descent that I want to keep the airspeed under control. So we're going to come up here on 11.7 just a minute, and then we can come down to 9,800, and we're 1.5 miles away from Doip, so that looks good. And I'm going to add some power back in now so we don't get too slow. We level off here. So we got 1 mile to go to Doip. Don't see the airport yet. Didn't expect to. You see what we're flying into. Now we've passed over that, 1/2 mile from Doip. Bring this down to 9,800, and we'll go ahead and arm it. Let's get down there. Ease off that power. So we've got 2.5 miles before we get to the missed approach point. Hopefully we'll find the airport. Got the power back to idle, descending 1,500 feet a minute, passing through 11,300. We're looking for the field, no field in sight. We've got 9,800 is our minimum descent altitude. So we got 1,000 to go, and we're about 1 mile away from the missed approach point. Hopefully we're going to find it. Still don't see it. Half a mile to go. Landing lights on, taxi lights on. There it is, right on schedule. Autopilot off, flight director off, yaw damper off. Second stage of flaps coming in, still in the rain. Let's go ahead and get that third stage of flaps. We're going to go full flaps. Keep our airspeed down. Eagle County Tower, Pilatus 3486, 3 mile final, runway 15. Pilatus 3486, Eagle Tower, runway 15 winds are, Lord only knows, but you are clear to land. Clear to land, runway 15, Pilatus 3486. So, I believe looking at the HSI, the winds are about 12 knots, a little bit of a right cross wind coming off the right nose, but not too bad. Just a little touch of power. We're slowing up nicely. Rate of descent bit of left rudder. Power is coming back.
500.
Some weird things happening with those vehicles there on the left. It seems like I float in this airplane way more than I want to. Even with 40 degrees of flaps. And low airspeeds. She just doesn't like to stop flying. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Aspen. Apologize for the weather, but that's the one thing we have no control over. Well, it's one thing we have no control over. It's not the one thing. It's one thing. All right, let's get off this runway. Get clear of the active. And we'll clean up the airplane. Pilatus 3486, taxi to the gate, monitor this frequency. 3486, taxi to the gate. Okay, flaps are coming up. And landing lights off, strobes are off. Third separator, we'll leave that open, probe heat off. And everything else is good. Taxiing to the gate. So, that was a landing that I believe we could walk away from. Wasn't a perfect landing by any stretch. This airplane tends to want to float, even with 40 degrees of flaps. You would think, and we're loaded. I mean, not so much with fuel, but I've got a full load of passengers and bags. And you would think that we would settle right down onto the runway. Steep descent coming into Aspen. Airspeed, trying to keep that down. Putting out all the gear and flaps, drag that we can muster up. Keep it as slow as we can get it. Still, you got a dive bomb just about to get in here. We're at 7,800 feet right now, looking at the altimeter. and it's pretty high altitude. Never did pick up that taxi line, but somewhere about in here. Should be about right, so we'll go ahead and power back to idle. Parking brakes set, and get our taxi light off. Close that. Avionics 1, avionics 2 is off, and generator's offline. Fuel cut off. Forgot my panel lights. Dang. It's so much prettier with the panels lights on, especially this time of day. Okay, we are here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Aspen. We'll open the door. Let everybody get off, and we'll be ready for our next adventure. Thank you for joining me. This is FS Mania. We hope you have a good day and hope you come back to visit real soon. See you now.